10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You already know what time it is. ReviveIsAlive.com. Once again, ReviveIsAlive.com. Tune in. Revive is alive. Welcome to Revive. It's about that time. Welcome to Revive. It's about that time. All I need is one mic. You know what time it is. Open up your ears. You know what time it is. Open up your mind. It's about that time. It's your girl P.O.C. Hey! It's your girl P.O.C. Hey! Proof of consciousness. Proof of consciousness. P.O.C. You know what time it is. Open up your ears. You know what time it is. Open up your mind. All I need is it's about that time. Welcome to Revive. Welcome to Revive. Yep. You know what time it is, man. It's me, your girl P.O.C, host of Revive Radio. We are live right now on reviveisalive.com. Once again, that is reviveisalive.com. It's a winning Wednesday. So you already know each and every winning Wednesday, man, we go back to back starting at 7 a.m. with that good morning radio, man, starting at 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then you already know, man, we bring it back to time for an awakening from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., man, each and every winning Wednesday. I need y'all to turn y'all radios up. Spread the word, spread the message. We are live right now, man. Stay locked to us, man. You can find us on reviveisalive.com. You can also find us on TuneIn. You can either download the app or go directly to the website and just search Time for an Awakening to hit Meet Your Girl P.O.C. Reviving Airways each and every winning Wednesday, man. Definitely make sure you guys give us a call. If you are definitely involved in everything that's going on right now in this conversation, I need you to definitely get involved. For real, man. Yesterday was election day. We had so many disappointments. Well, I was disappointed, I would say, but I want to hear your opinion, your perspective, man. What's going on after we vote? What's next? You know what I'm saying? What's next after we vote? What do we want to do? We keep talking about change. What's the change that we want to look for, man? What is the change that we want to see? I want to hear your opinion today, man. I want to talk about a lot of different things that happened yesterday, especially in Florida. Everything that's going on in Georgia right now. The fact that the Georgia polls had to stay open an extra 2 hours early into 10 p.m. last night. I want to hear from you guys, man. I definitely want to hear about your experience while voting. If this was your first time voting, please let me know. So once again, that number is 215-490-9832. Once again, that number is 215-490-9832. And definitely make sure you guys are following us Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Revive_POC. Once again, that number is Revive. I said once again that number. I'm ready for you guys to give me a call, man. We got a jam-packed show for you guys today. But once again, that is Revive_POC, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to subscribe to both the YouTube channel as well as the newsletter so you can stay locked with everything we got going on here at Revive Radio, man. I got some trending topics and some current events I want to go over with you guys. We got some special guests who's going to be rolling through as well to definitely help expand this conversation today, man. I'm really excited. Once again, man, reviveisalive.com, reviveisalive.com. We about to get into this mix real quick. Turn your radios up. Spread the word, spread the message. We are live right now.
Let me hear you say yeah. For my people, get live. Where you at? Hands in the air and let me hear you say yeah. For my people, get live. Where you at? That's bad.
Check it out. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. Talking about a party, said it's gon' be crackin'. Since I'ma try to push, I tell them push the bins. Cause when it's over, straight parking lot pimpin'. And once I find my keys to the ride, hit the spot around 11:45. Cause everybody know that's when it gets hot. Tonight I'm gonna find a little shorty for a play at the clock. I need a hot girl for me, yeah. Sexy little mama, yeah. Who knows how to turn me on, bring me from the night to the early. She got one, that's the kind I like. I like them girls, these canal sheets. I like them girls, I stuff like me. I like them girls in the fly Gucci. Rolling deep in the 6, Cartier on the wrist. I like them things, small waist with the big old hips. I like them girls in the drop-in leg. That's the kind of girl I need. Out the corner about to show they ice so bright.
I want to take a moment. I definitely want to take a moment to shout out Houston right now, man. Shout out Texas. All 19 black women who ran for judge in Harris, Texas was elected last night. They all took office last night. They're calling themselves the Houston 19. They were reported as the largest number of African-American women to ever be on the ballot in Harris, Texas, which includes most of them in Houston, and also the third largest county in the country. So congratulations to all 19 women, man. That is big. The Houston 19, all 19 of them are sitting in office right now, man. That's big. Turn your radios up.
You can, baby.
I'm not always there when you call, but I'm always on time. And I gave you my all. Now, baby, be mine. I'm not always there when you call, but I'm always on time. And I gave you my all. Now, baby, be mine.
Get a grip, come on, pull it together. It's only a sun shower. We've been through worse weather like stormy night. You wrote a Dear John letter and took my Benz and keyed and cut the leather. Bitch, you know better. The M.O.B. Money over bitches, murder, I.N.C. I got 2 or 3 hoes for every V, and I keep them drugged up off that ecstasy. I'm a playground legend like Kirkland Pee Wee. They my nigga in the league, got more game than me. I play harder, so many women I bothered. Meet them with scars and send them home hot and bothered. Truth to dare, this life ain't apparently fair. Ain't a love with no glare, is a crystal stare. But we share something so rare, but who cares? You can, baby.
I'm not always there when you call, but I'm always on time. And I gave you my all. Now, baby, be mine. I'm not always there when you call, but I'm always on time. And I gave you my all. Now, baby, be mine.
Got me in my feelings. Gotta be real with it. Yeah. Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me. Cause I want you, and I need you, and I'm down for you always. KB, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me. Cause I want you, and I need you, and I'm down for you always. Look, the new me is really still the real me. I swear you gotta feel me before they try and kill me. They gotta make some choices, they running out of options. Cause I've been going off and they don't know when to stop. And when you get the I see that you've been learning. And when I take you shopping, you spend it like you earned it. And when you popped off on your ex, he deserved it. I thought you would've won from the jump, that confirmed it. Trap money, Benny. I buy you champagne, but you love some Henny. From the block like you Jenny. I know you special, girl, cause I know too many. Risha, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me. Cause I want you, and I need you, and I'm down for you always. JT, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me. Cause I want you, and I need you, and I'm down for you always.
Then we kissing in a wave, kissing in a wave, kissing in a wave. I need that black card in the code to the safe, code to the safe, code to the safe.
I show 'em how to network. Netflix and chill. What's your net worth?
Cause I want you, and I need you, and I'm down for you always. And I'm down for you always. And I'm down for you, down for you, down for you always. Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me. Cause I want you, and I need you, and I'm down for you always.
Breaking news, man. Breaking news. Did y'all hear about Attorney General Jeff Sessions? Well, we're going to talk a little bit about that, man, with your guy Brax from TLS Politics later on in the show, man. Attorney Jeff Sessions submitted his resignation letter to Donald Trump today. Did y'all see this coming? Did y'all know this was about to happen? The whole Donald Trump administration, I've never seen so many people either get fired or quit under one presidential candidate in my life, man. Well, I was only alive for 3 presidents, but this is the most I have ever done, especially just doing my research, especially knowing everything that's going on with politics. And this is very, very, very exciting news to me. I want to know if it's exciting news to you. Let's go. Turn your radios up. TLS coming up next. Let's go.
Are you an entrepreneur?
Are you a startup business? Are you a local business? Are you an artist? Are you looking for someone to distribute your content? Revive Radio is the place to be. Come advertise with us at Revive Radio right now. You can find that advertising page at reviveisalive.com. Once again, reviveisalive.com. Advertise with Revive. We are reaching thousands of millennials all across the world. And once again, reviveisalive.com is where you can find that information.
This is what you call a flip. 10 keys from a car to brick. Bentley from his mama whip. K.O.D. he hard to shoot. This is what you call a flip. 10 keys from a car to brick. Bentley from his mama whip. K.O.D. he hard to shoot. This is what you call a flip. 10 keys from a car to brick. Bentley from his mama whip. K.O.D. he hard to shoot. This is what you call a flip. 10 keys from a car to brick. Bentley from his mama whip. K.O.D. he hard to shoot. Wow. Ziggins been cramping my style, blowing my high, they wanna reply. The number one question is how does it feel now that you own? How much you worth? How big is your home? How come you won't get a few features? I think you should, how about I don't? How about you just get the fuck on my dick? How about you listen and never forget? Only go say this one time then I'll dip. Ziggins ain't worthy to be on my shit. Haven't you heard I'm as cold as a tip? Tip of the ice with that tip the Titanic. Don't tiptoe around it, my shit is gigantic. As big as the fucking Atlantic, I'm lit. This is what you call a flip. 10 keys from a car to brick. Bentley from his mama whip. K.O.D. he hard to shoot. This is what you call a flip. 10 keys from a car to brick. Bentley from his mama whip. K.O.D. he hard to shoot. This is what you call a flip. 10 keys from a car to brick. Bentley from his mama whip. K.O.D. he hard to shoot. This is what you call a flip. 10 keys from a car to brick. Bentley from his mama whip. K.O.D. he hard to shoot. I grew up only pure to love. Mama, I got my first pure to blood. I'm hanging out and they shoot up the club. My homie got pharmaceutical plug. I smoke the drug and they run through my vein. I think it's working, it's numbing the pain. Don't give a fuck on someone insane. Don't give a fuck on someone insane. At this shit daily. So much activists, I convince activists that they should pay me. A practice made perfect on practice's baby. A practice made perfect on practice's baby. Platinum is riding in back like Miss Daisy. Platinum this and I own masses pay me. Y'all nigga trapping so let's go daisy. My nigga sell crack like it's back in the 80s. No, young nigga, he acting so crazy. He serve a few packs and he jack a Mercedes. He shoot at the police, he clapping old ladies. He don't give a fuck if them crackers gon' hang him. Be asking what have you done lately. I stacked a few ends like my lesson was shady. My life is too crazy, no ad to complain me. My life is too crazy, no ad to complain me. This is what you call a flip. 10 keys from a car to brick. Bentley from his mama whip. K.O.D. he hard to shoot. This is what you call a flip. 10 keys from a car to brick. Bentley from his mama whip. K.O.D. he hard to shoot. This is what you call a flip. 10 keys from a car to brick. Bentley from his mama whip. K.O.D. he hard to shoot. This is what you call a flip. 10 keys from a car to brick. Bentley from his mama whip.
What I'm finna do with all that? Talked to Elon last week, told him I whip too fast. 120 on the dash, I hope that I never crash. Misfits on the map, drop hits, that's that. Tail hit me with the pass, swish, nigga, wish I never rapped. Play this shit in the club for me. Cause if you in there, then I'll be the one that you never see like jeez. Let me go put on my cleats, the way that I get up and run through the streets. Perry like Bon Appetit, they saw us and went to go call the police. Yeah, down, just put a hydrogen whip on a leash. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure that I leave a good world for my niece. Hey, that's just me. We don't need you on the team, we pay too many fees. Yeah. They told me travel light when you're going overseas. It's just one night, I'ma bring the whole fleet with me. Play this shit in the club for me. If you in there, I'll be the one you never see, I'm close. Iller than most. I've been behind the scenes, I've been watching the ropes. She put her hand on my neck, she on the slopes, ice. Why you put so much space in the flow? When I wanna grow, I listen to Hove. Take notes, look at the case, close it. Open the doors, look at my neck, look at my wrist, frozen. Look at my pants dripping, swag, know that you stole it. Play this shit in the club for me. If you in there, I'm ghost.
Yep, man. You already know what time it is, man. Each and every winning Wednesday, we go back to back live here on Revive Radio, man. We about to go to a quick commercial break. Right after this quick commercial break, you already know I got some trending topics and some more current events, and definitely we're going to get into some actual factuals with your boy Brax from the left side of politics. Make sure you guys stay locked. Turn your radios up. Spread the word. Spread the message. We are live right now on reviveisalive.com. Once again, that is reviveisalive.com, man. Guess who's about to get inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame? We're going to talk about it on the other side of this break, man. You already know what time it is. It's me, your girl, P.O.C.
Let me tell you who to blame. Blame the boy lying at your feet, his body oozing life through the hole in his stomach where the bullet tore him apart. Blame him for challenging you, for not looking away and for not backing down when you pulled out the gun. Blame your mother for bringing you into this world when she was but a kid herself and for dragging you up, not bringing you up. Blame society for not giving you hope. Blame your father for not being there, the man who looked after himself instead of looking after you. Blame the gun in your hand for making you a target, for making you more likely to be picked on. Blame the dead boy, blame your mother, blame society, blame your father, blame the gun, blame anyone but yourself for not being strong enough to put down the gun, to break the cycle.
Nicotine, cadmium, benzene, ammonia, arsenic, formaldehyde, hydrogen cyanide, carbon monoxide. These are just a few of the 7,000 chemicals that can be traced from cigarettes. Tobacco-related deaths are expected to rise to around 8 million annual deaths worldwide by the year 2030. Put down the cigarette and don't be one of those people.
You are my best friend and we've got some things to do.
On the floor. Yeah. Yo, you wanna meet me in the lounge. Yeah. Yo, you wanna meet me in the club. Yeah. Yo, you wanna meet me downtown. Okay.
Okay.
My Ditka's mad as a bear.
Yeah, I'm mad, all right.
He used a bargain trash bag.
Some bargain.
Mike, you should have used Glad Quick Tie bags. Glad Quick Tie are the only bags with 3-ply strength. They won't break like this bargain bag.
These Glad bags are tough.
None tougher. Go deep. Don't get mad.
Nice arm.
Get Glad. Glad Kitchen and Outdoor Bags.
Yep, you know what time it is, man. It's me, your girl, P.O.C., host of Revive Radio. And every second and fourth Wednesday of the month, you can get your girl Tab Money here live on Revive Radio with Tab Money Habits, man. That good financial wealth, that good financial coaching, man. Live here on Revive Radio each and every second and fourth Wednesday of the month, hosted by your girl Tab Money. Welcome to Revive. It's about that time. Welcome to Revive. It's about that time. All I need is one mic. You know what time it is. Open up your ears. You know what time it is. Open up Yep. You know what time it is, man. It's Meet Your Girl P.O.C, host for Revive Radio. We are back live. Because Revive is alive, man. 365 on reviveisalive.com, man. Once again, that is reviveisalive.com. Make sure you guys are following us Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at revive_POC. You can also check us out each and every winning Wednesday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. on TuneIn. You can either download the app or go directly to the website and just search Time for an Awakening and hit Meet Your Girl P.O.C. Reviving Airways each and every winning Wednesday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And don't forget, we are live each and every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We will not be live this Sunday. I'm actually going to go to D.C. We're doing my annual family give back. We're doing it this reason. The reason why we're doing it earlier this season is because, we wanted to give back in a way where it didn't seem like we were giving back just because of the holiday season. So this year we're doing it a little bit early, and I'm really excited about this weekend. I haven't been home in a long time, so I'm really excited to see my family and to see my friends from my hometown, you know what I'm saying? So DMV, I'm coming. I'm excited, man. Let me know what's going on this weekend. I definitely will pull up, pop out, and hop out on you. So definitely let me know what's going on. Hit me up, slide in my DMs, and definitely hit me in my email as well if you're looking to do some work to collab while I'm down in the DMV. My email is revive.poc@gmail.com. So yes, also if you are, someone who has some donations that you can give to help expand this family give back, please hit me up at revive.poc@gmail.com. We will definitely come get those donations, man, because the more the merrier, the more people can be, blessed this time around. We want to be blessings to, we want to be a blessing to others. That's what it's all about. We want to show love. We want to spread love. We want to even teach love, because some people don't even know how to love. So we got to start by even teaching them. You can't do better if you don't know better, right? You already know what time it is. But yeah, so I want to get into this, right, because I'm channeling my inner Missy Elliott right now. Shout out to Missy Elliott, man. She becomes the first female rapper to ever be nominated for the Songwriters of Hall of Fame, man. I'm really excited for her. She is now the first rapper to ever be nominated to the Songwriters Hall of Fame. The Songwriters Hall of Fame induction, they have been doing this for about 20 years, and she is now one of the nominees. So I'm really excited. And if you know me, you know I love some Missy Elliott. I definitely love me some Missy Elliott. I challenge my Missy Elliott a lot. Definitely when I'm singing, because I'm a 90s baby and I'm stuck in the 90s area. I can't lie to you when it comes to my music. So when it comes to Missy Elliott, she is like on the top of the list when it comes to my playlist. Definitely, truly. I want to know what's your favorite Missy Elliott song as well, man. This is really big. She's the first ever female rapper to be nominated into the Songwriters Hall of Fame, man. And when she gets this award, this is going to be amazing, because this just shows, that, female rappers need to be respected on the same level as a male rapper. So definitely big ups to Missy Elliott. When she wins this award, she'll be the third rapper to ever be entered into the organization. So far, Jay-Z was inducted back in 2017, and Jermaine Dupri was inducted earlier this year. So she'll be the third rapper in overall, but she'll be the first female rapper to ever be inducted, because she is going to get inducted. I'm speaking that to your existence, baby. Missy, I love you over here, man. We're going to get back into this mix. You already know we got to do it right with your girl, Missy Elliott. I want to know what's your favorite Missy Elliott song, man. Give us a call, 215-490-9832. Let's go. And if you think, there should be another, woman or female rapper that should be inducted into, the Songwriters Hall of Fame, let me know, because that's always the beef. That's always the stereotype, that women rappers do not write our own raps. We don't write our own raps. We always, have somebody writing our raps for us. So for a woman to be nominated to be inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame, let me know who you think out there right now on music. Because Cardi B and Nicki Minaj was going back and forth all last week about who writes their own rhymes. So I want to know, do you think it would ever be another woman rapper to be inducted? I want to know. Let us know. 215-490-9832.
I blew up the spot, crushing your bins, crushing your navigator system. My QB, make y'all tuck it. It's Nas in your area. Missy about to tear it up. Braveheart, y'all scared of us. Real niggas, baby, us.
What's your name? Cause I'm impressed. Can you treat me good? I won't settle for less. You a hot boy, a rock boy, a fun toy. So boy, where you live? Is it by yourself? Can I move with you? Do you need some help? I cook, boy. I give you more. I'm a fly girl, and I like those hot boys. Say what? Baby, you got what I want. See, cause y'all be driving Lexus G.
And you know what? We can also talk about this live on Free Bars Friday, man. Each and every Friday, live on Revive Radio, we go live on Free Bars Friday. So if you got some bars, we want to hear it live, man. If you're a woman rapper, female rapper out there, let us hear you. Revive.poc@gmail.com. Hit us up.
Is that your car? The SK8? Are you riding alone? Can I be your date? Come get me. Get me. Don't diss me. Don't trick me. Got some friends. Can they come too? Can you hook them up with some boys like you? A hot boy. A rock boy. A top boy. And I like those hot boys. Baby, you got what I want. See, cause y'all be driving Lexus Jeeps and the Benz Jeeps and the Lincoln Jeeps. Nothing cheaper with them platinum visas. Hot boys. Baby, you got what I want. See, cause y'all be driving Jaguars and the Bentleys and the Rolls Royce, playing hardball with the platinum visas. Only take them thugged out, slightly bugged out. His tongue out, know the job ain't getting done till the body's getting drug out. Hot boy, keep me right, play your part, not keep it tight. Well, she gonna be in the middle of the night, but up in the sheets with me, I gangsta. True to your game, street master. You the one I need when this beef street. Ain't afraid to stop a cat. Plus, Ash, soldier cash money, rule your world. What's topping that? S430. Keep me on my toes, get a tingle in my spine. Only he knows he's a hot boy. Missy, sing it out and I'm gon' spit it. Rough riders screaming loud, daddy, is you with it? If your team can't handle my, then we gon' ride. Brick house, stallions, keep thugs open wide. Illadel's best, EVE, stay committed, mess with many. But if he ain't the realer, I ain't with it. I'ma dig in your pockets.
And if you peep how Missy Elliott actually moved throughout her career, man, she collabed with so many women artists, so many women hip-hop artists throughout her entire career. Let's just check out this song right here, man, with Hot Boys. You got Lil Mo and you also got Eve, who's, you know, originally from Philadelphia. Shout out to the whole Philadelphia team right now. So let's just think about it. And then as we sit here and we watch the beef going back and forth between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, and it seems like, you know,
this call
it's
is
just
being
something that we
recorded.
can't do as if we cannot be together. We can't show love. We can't, you know, show a collective effort in this hip hop industry. So to see Missy Elliott come through and break all kinds of barriers, you know, and back in the 90s and the early 2000s, like, what's going on? When did we turn for the worst, man? So check this one out. It's another collaboration. Let's go.
Let's take it to perfection. Just you and me. Let's see if you can bring the nasty out of me. Suck it to me like you want me to. I can take it like a pro, you know. Do a long throw with the backstroke. My hormones jumping like a disco. I be popping mess like some Crisco. All you gotta say is Missy go. And when you say go, I won't move slow. I'm at your house around midnight. Don't fall asleep. It'll just be me. On a late night creep. I'ma show you things that you can't believe. Jump in this BED and won't you suck it to me? Suck it to me. Suck it to me. I can take it like a pro, you know. Do a long throw with the backstroke. My hormones jumping like a disco. I be popping mess like some Crisco. And all you gotta say is Missy go. And when you say go, I won't move slow. Ooh, I suck it to me like you want to. Ooh, I can take it like a pro, you know. Do a long throw with the backstroke. My hormones.
Once again, man, big shout out to your girl, Missy Elliott. I'm channeling my inner Missy Elliott always, man. Once again, she becomes the first female rapper to ever be nominated to the Songwriters Hall of Fame. When she wins this award, she'll be actually the third rapper to enter. Jay-Z entered earlier this year. I'm sorry, Jermaine Dupri entered earlier this year, and Jay-Z actually was able to be inducted back into 2017. So, yes, this is really big. So make sure you guys go out here and support your girl, Missy Elliott. lit because I'm definitely doing so. We got your boy Brax from TLS Politics coming right after this break. You already know what time it is. Turn your radios up, spread the word, spread the message. Definitely make sure you guys give us a call tonight, 215-490-9832.
You are listening to Time for an Awakening Media, part of the Black Talk Radio Network. For podcasts or live programming, hit them up at timeforanawakening.com.
Yep, you know what time it is, man. It's Meet Your Girl P.O.C, host of Revive. Today is Winning Wednesday, so you already know each and every Winning Wednesday, we have a jam-packed show for you guys here on Time for the Awakening. I need you guys to give us a call right now, 215-490-9832. Once again, that number is 215-490-9832. And you already know reviveisalive.com. Once again, reviveisalive.com is the place for you to be. Click that link in my bio, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at revive_POC.
Do you understand the true meaning of how money works and how someone may make money and manage their money? If you do, you know what financial literacy is. Financial literacy deals with managing money, how he or she can invest it, and how it is used to handle your everyday life expenses. So the next time you are applying for that credit card at your favorite store, or you are taking out student loans that you really don't need, make yourself aware of the risk you could be taking if you are not knowledgeable. It could haunt you for the rest of your life. For more information, visit financialeducatorscouncil.org.
What does Martin Luther King Jr., Booker T. Washington, Langston Hughes, Oprah Winfrey, W.E.B. Du Bois, what do they all have in common? They all attended an HBCU.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it.
The only triple doubles you get come with fries.
Last time you blocked someone, you were online.
I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool.
Not cool.
Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people. And you're better than that.
Welcome to Revive. It's about that time. Welcome to Revive. It's about that time. All I need is one mic. You know what time it is. Open up your ears. You know what time it is. Open up your mind. It's about that time. It's your girl P.O.C. Hey! It's your girl P.O.C. Hey! Proof of consciousness. Proof of consciousness. P.O.C. You know what time it is. Open up your ears. You know what time it is. Open up your mind. All I need is it's about that time. Welcome to Revive. Yep. You know what time it is, man. It's Meet Your Girl P.O.C, host of Revive Radio. We are back live once again on reviveisalive.com. Once again, that is reviveisalive.com. Make sure you guys are following us Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at revive_POC. Don't forget to subscribe to both the YouTube channel as well as the newsletter so you can stay locked with everything we have going on here at Revive Radio with the visuals, the behind the scenes, the exclusive interviews, the recaps of our interviews, man, here on reviveisalive.com. You can definitely check us out. And make sure you guys check out our news and press release on reviveisalive.com as well, man. We got that news that's for you, by you. We got that FUBU information, man. We about to get into this actual factual with your boy Brax from TLS Politics. Yo, Brax, you're live. What's good, baby?
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good, man. Yo, today is Wednesday, the day after Election Day. I'm a little bit upset. I'm a little bit disheartened. I ain't gonna lie to you, Brax. But I want to know about, your experience because you were firsthand yesterday at the polls. So tell us a little bit about your experience.
You don't want to know my experience yesterday. Yesterday as well, there were a lot of long lines and a lot of people, like high turnout. I was only at the polls for about 45 minutes, and then I ended up going back to the office and just making phone calls on behalf of the Massachusetts Democratic Party, just reminding folks to go out and vote. And if they needed a ride, we were offering rides yesterday to their polling locations as well.
So how was that experience? Was people like, yo, I need a ride? Uber and Lyft was actually giving out free rides to your polling places yesterday?
Yeah, I saw that. They had like some type of like special like deal going on. I wasn't exactly sure what it was, but that was like great. It was good. I think like I did it for a couple of hours, and like the demographic of folks that needed rides tended to be like a little bit tended to be more elderly people who necessarily like kind of like lived alone, didn't have like close family by them. That tended to be the people who needed rides to the polling place.
I definitely understand, and I'm glad you guys were able to get them there. So, was it a great turnout? Was it because I know here in Philly we had we were able to reach in the 10th ward. We were able to reach about 200 people, which exceeded the 200. Exceeded the 2 p.m. quota. So, how was you guys? Were you guys making quota over there? Did people show up in the morning, in the middle of the day, closer to closing time? Like, how was it over there for you guys?
So, because I was only like really active paying attention like 11 to 3, and then we had like a call today about numbers, which some stuff I can't divulge. But with it being Massachusetts, and the areas when I was in Springfield, there was no school yesterday. There was actually no school. Like I'm not sure if it was statewide, but like pretty much like all of my county didn't have school. So kind of saw more of like an influx of people during the day. I don't know if because people take the day off of work because their kids were home, but it was more packed during the day than I've seen it before. But it was also great too just to see people like bringing their kids like to go vote with them as well. So that was just like a whole like another type of like I don't know I can't find the right word to say, but it's just like amazing.
No doubt. I've seen a lot of parents bringing their kids with them to vote. I hope we bring that out, in 2020 as well. But so I wanted to ask you, what number were you? Because everybody was all geeked and hooked up on what number they were. What number were you?
I did early voting.
Oh, yeah. I forgot all about that. I apologize, Rex.
Yeah.
You're right about that. So also I wanted to ask last question, right? So in Massachusetts, did you guys get the turnout that you were looking for as far as the candidates that were in office, that were elected into office?
So we in terms of like the races that like kind of mattered to me and the ones to really pay attention to, like for the U.S. Senate race, Elizabeth Warren won by a lot, so she's going back to the U.S. Senate. For the the governor race, the Democratic candidate was in the lead at one point, and then the Republican candidate surpassed him. So even like when I was doing when I was doing canvassing, like doing phone banking in the weeks leading up to the election, and even yesterday, like I spoke, they voted. A lot of Democratic people were still telling me, yeah, they're like, I voted Democratic except for the governor. A lot of Democrats still sided like with the incumbent Republican Governor Charlie Baker in Massachusetts, which was just really interesting because that was the race I was kind of paying attention to the most, because during their debates, they basically were kind of cut from the same cloth. The only difference was that the Democratic person was running against the incumbent just wanted more of the stuff like right away. It was like making like more like big spending promises, but didn't necessarily have the funding where it's going to come from, but they basically were running with the same exact platform.
Okay.
So I know that's kind of where a lot of people are kind of like, but for the governor's race, the Republican is getting 66.9% of the vote, and the Democratic person only got 33.1%, which for Massachusetts, it being known as a blue state, is very interesting. But we do tend to flip time and time again with governors. As you know, Mitt Romney was our governor at one point. I don't know how that happened. No comment there. And Mitt Romney is now with the U.S. Senator from Utah. So, I mean, congratulations to him and to the state of Utah. And it'd be interesting to see how he does in the Senate, because he might be one of those Republicans that kind of flip-flops when it comes to voting. You might be able to count on him for some bipartisan work. We shall see. I don't want to speak too soon.
I'm with you on that.
Have to put my foot in my mouth.
But for you per se, would you say that your vote counting yesterday on the ballot based on who's in office right now? Because
everybody voted for one.
Okay. All right, because I'm still a little upset. I ain't even going to hold you. I'm still a little upset right now. And now we have somebody actually going to join this conversation too, Brax, because I want to get into a little bit about Jeff Sessions today too. Hey, call you live on Revive. Your telephone number is ending in 0879.
Hi. Yeah.
How are you? Go ahead and introduce yourself. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, my name is Joey, and I'm calling from Southern California.
Awesome. And I want you to join in today on the conversation about elections. Yesterday was November 6th, which was election day. And can you tell us a little bit about your experience? And you're calling in from California, so you had a different experience. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, we had a pretty dicey race for our 49th congressional district down here. We also had our gubernatorial race, which turned out both of which turned out just about as we had expected. Both of which, the 49th congressional district flipped to blue, with Mike Levin taking the seat in the House, which is not much of a shock for most of us here. Darrell Issa being pushed out of office after about 14 years.
Okay.
And Newsom, he took the governor's seat, which was much expected as well.
And when it comes to making your vote count, I can definitely see, based on the results that you just laid out, that you guys did make a change over there in California. So how did you actually partake in the elections? Were you there at the polls? Were you volunteering, or were you just someone who went up and voted?
So I actually am one of the administrators for an political Instagram account called Balance the Ballot.
Awesome.
We're a student-run political media. We're attempting to get a lot of our U.S. followers to engage and go out and vote if they were able to, because we do tend to cater to younger Americans and younger students from all over the world. But we were trying to engage and animate students that were able to vote to go out and vote yesterday.
I'm with you on that. So tell us a little bit about what you guys did to actually help people in this election to even be aware or knowledgeable about the candidates who are up for election.
So specifically as for who was up for election, we didn't do as much. We were trying to get our voters to go ahead and educate themselves as far as who were the available options for whatever area that they were specifically in. But we did give people information as to where they can go and register to vote if they were first-time voters. We also presented them with other information of how they could get involved within the election if they were not yet able to vote, as far as campaigning for people who are running and so forth.
I'm with you on that. And did you see a great turnout for millennials? Because this is a millennial show. So did you see a great turnout for millennials yesterday?
I would say yes. Personally, I believe that there were a lot of first-time voters that I know personally that went out and decided to go and vote for the first time, which I was very proud of. And a lot of my other friends who are not able to vote decided to go and be poll workers and partake in that aspect of the democratic process.
I'm with you on that. And I'm a little bit salty. I was just about to get into it with Brax. He's also...
Why are you salty?
Because I'm a little bit salty. When it comes to Florida, when it comes to Georgia, different things like that, I really thought we had these, candidates in the bag. I didn't think we were going to have some upsets this time around. I really did not think we were going to have upsets this time around. What do you guys think about the upsets that we had in this election?
Personally, I do align myself a little bit more in the middle, and I think I was kind of expecting Florida, Georgia, not so much. Yeah.
And what about you, Brax?
Yeah. So I'll start with Texas. With Texas, I mean, I'm not shocked. I mean, I was hoping for Beto, but it's not a shocker there. Florida always has to Florida. And I was really hoping, I did have hope for Andrew Gillum, and the race was very, very close, and he was in the lead for most of the night. I was hoping to see that actually go blue, and I was actually upset too that we ended up losing the Senate seat as well. So that was kind of I was two upsets there. In terms of Georgia, that is a mess in itself, and because I know we were talking about it earlier. So as you know, Stacey Abrams has not conceded yet, and she does not want to concede until I believe every vote was counted, because there were still absentee ballots needed to be counted. And her opponent Brian Kemp is the Secretary of State, and so he oversees the elections. And I believe he is saying that if she wants to recount or if it goes to runoff, he's refusing to recuse himself till after that's done. So it makes it look like there is some type of corruption or something going on. I hate to use the word corruption, but it makes it look like there's something going on. And we know that we know there's been election issues going on in Georgia leading up to the midterm. So I'm curious to see what's going to end up happening next. since she hasn't conceded yet, I just kind of want to know like what's going to happen in the next couple of days. I'm
And-
curious there. So very more so just disappointed in like how everything's going on in Georgia. I mean, the other two elections, candidates are great. They lost, but hopefully I don't believe that's going to be the last we see of them. And who knows what could be in store for them in 2020.
Definitely. And I also want to get into Jeff Sessions too. Did you guys hear about the breaking news? Jeff Sessions put in his resignation letter today, and it was actually asked from Donald Trump for him to do so. I want to hear your thoughts about that. I mean, I think this is some really exciting news. I mean, we do have to think about what's going to happen next and who can come after him, but this is some really exciting news. So I wanted to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about this?
So I do think that it was something that was quite unexpected. However, for people on the left, they're going to be wanting to look out and see who's going to be coming in and filling that seat. And maybe it's going to be somebody better and somebody that's going to satisfy a lot of people's expectations. But I think that there's a possibility that it's going to be somebody that's not going to be satisfying a lot of people's expectations.
Were you shocked though? Like, is this like some shocking news to you? Did you see this happening? Or, are you like, oh, I already knew this was going to happen?
I expected it to happen just from some of Mr. Sessions' previous comments that he made.
And do you think that Donald Trump will be picking this person, or do you think someone in his camp will be able to pick this person for him?
I'm not quite sure how this is going to play out.
Okay. And what about you, Brax? What do you think about this?
So, I mean, we all saw it coming, and he's been very upset. He hasn't been happy with Jeff Sessions for a while, and so we knew that right after midterms, the reason to get rid of him before midterms or ask for his resignation before is because there's a fear that could have tipped the election. Because there are Republicans who did agree, and just let me backtrack. So we know he's upset with him because he recused himself from the Russia investigation. And so we know that Donald Trump has been upset with him since that. And so there have been Republicans who have just said, let Mueller do his job. And obviously Jeff Sessions wasn't going to fire him. So now that the midterms have passed and he's asked for his resignation, and rather than the Deputy Attorney General, which will usually become the Acting Attorney General, he appointed the Chief of Staff to become the Acting Attorney General. And the Chief of Staff is a person who is more so basically I can say is siding with Donald Trump with this investigation and feels like Mueller has overreached a couple of times and things like that. So basically I guess we're just wondering next, is the Acting Attorney General, right now, is he going to fire Mueller? And then what is that going to lead to something else? So I think that's what we're wondering about right now. In terms of who the next Attorney General is going to be, the replacement, there's already rumors and speculations. I don't think, though, they're going to try and fill that seat until the next Congress comes in January. I mean, we'll see. But there's already speculation that it could be the person who's the Acting Attorney General. It could be the person who lost the Kansas gubernatorial race yesterday. It could be Rudy Giuliani. There's already a potential short list out there. How true or how false that list is, I don't know, but I could see some of them maybe being somebody that Donald might court and ask.
Wow. Okay. Thank you for that. You just gave me more facts than I actually knew. I was trying to find some information on, everything that was going on. And I wanted to ask you too, Brack. So do you think Jeff Sessions is going to pull a Omarosa, because he knows a lot of information, you know what I'm saying? He's been through, the ins and outs with Donald Trump throughout this presidency. So do you think, Jeff Sessions could possibly pull a Omarosa on Donald Trump?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he will. And, I may not agree with Jeff Sessions, politically or anything like that, but I would say I would commend him for basically following the law when it comes to this investigation. I think would be the best way to say it, and just trying to maintain integrity. He recused himself and basically wouldn't give in to Donald Trump, wanting he wouldn't give in to Donald Trump, wanting him to do certain things. And I respect him for that. And so, it's kind of upsetting to see his career as the Attorney General end like this. I mean, I'm not upset to see him go. I'm just upset to see it happen like this. But I don't think that he will necessarily pull an Omarosa. But I mean, at this point, what I would expect versus what happens, especially in the U.S. political system. It's always different. So who knows? I don't know.
I want to know, man. I definitely want to know because Jeff Sessions is a very petty guy. So I want to know, and that's the reason why I asked that question, because he is a petty guy. But we have somebody else on the line that I want to join in on this conversation as well. Hey, caller, you're live on Revive. What's your name and when you calling from? You have a number ending in 7432. Calling out of New York City.
Yes, how you doing? My name is Ishmael Shalom.
Hello, how are you? How are you doing today? How can you add to this conversation?
I listen briefly. Actually, I have a New York number. I'm from Brooklyn, but I'm going to graduate school down here in Southern California as well, and down here in San Diego. Okay. And I wanted to touch on something that I heard you was talking about earlier about providing education as far as voting and so on and so forth. But one particular problem we had here in San Diego that a lot of people are unaware of, and because it goes unnoticed and unreported, me personally, they actually changed addresses for people who was registered for certain polling spots. For instance, for example, one guy in particular we have a young lady who's running for assembly office here in Imperial Beach County, and only black woman actually. And a lot of the black voters, I noticed, where they sent their polling place to another place outside of that district, so they couldn't vote. So they had to vote where their polling was. So they actually went to that polling office to vote, and don't know why the address was changed to that specific location. So they were unable to vote for her on their ballot. And I was actually a case in point myself. I couldn't believe it. I should have did a provisional ballot, but I didn't. I actually raised too much concern and disgust at the time, and I didn't think about the provisional ballot.
Okay. Did you bring that up while you were there? Did you make that concern while you
I
were
did.
there?
I did. Yeah, I'm actually also a member of BAPAC, and we actually hold forums up and down the coast of San Diego. BAPAC is a black organization, black association, political party that's promoting nothing but Democrats and blacks and browns, trying to get them elected. And I voiced my concerns there that I couldn't understand why I'm voting in a different district when I don't live in this district, and I wanted to vote in this specific district. And then certain other people that was there as well voiced the exact same concerns.
And what was the response that did you receive? What was the response that you received?
Well, of course, I got the laid back, nonchalant response. Oh, we're just here assisting, and we don't know why the addresses have changed, and so on and so forth. But this is the issue that we're going to bring up next week to our council members and our political leaders here.
Definitely,
because they couldn't answer our questions, and I knew that. I knew they was going to, pass the buck, which is San Diego's a different world when it comes to black people.
And I
completely different world.
I thank you, Ishmael, for joining in on the conversation and definitely adding to the conversation. But I would definitely say reach out to your committee person. There should have been a committee person at every polling site that was supposed to be there to answer any questions you may have had, any concerns you may have had that needed to be addressed. So I would say reach out to your committee person in your ward, and hopefully they can make a difference for you. If they cannot, then yes, I would definitely say bring that up next week at your council. What do you guys do again? It's called BAPACs?
Yes, BAPAC. Yes, it's up and down. We have about 4 chapters now. One in LA, one in Sacramento, Fresno, and one in San Diego.
Awesome.
It's a black organization for political parties.
All right, I'm definitely going to look more into that, Ishmael. I appreciate you for calling in on Revive Radio and definitely helping expand this conversation.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's stay locked. If you can actually slide in my DM or send me an email with some more information about your organization, maybe we can set something up to help, expand your voices here on Revive Radio.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. Definitely.
I appreciate you. Thank you, man. Have a great night. So I also wanted to ask you about that too as well, Brax, as well as our other caller who's on the line with us. I appreciate you guys for staying on the line. When it comes to people who are having issues at the polling sites, as you're arriving to the polling sites, what is your advice or what would you recommend to give to people such as Ishmael who had an issue yesterday at the polling sites?
I know I'm gonna speak to how I know how elections run in my city, specifically in my city. So the folks who are working like inside the polling locations are volunteers of the election office at the city hall, and so they can always like let them know that they're having an issue, and if anything, they can always go right downtown to city hall the same day and let the commissioner know, let someone in the office know, or they can call the office. So that's like kind of like our protocol and our procedure here. That's what I've always known to do.
Okay.
So I would imagine it'd be similar in other states. I mean, I've always voted in Massachusetts, even though I've lived other places, and I've always just been registered here. So that's just always like what I've known to do. I can't speak to, I don't know, what do you do in Southern California? Joey, I'm not sure exactly what your process is.
Yeah, so I actually live in San Diego County as well, and I've been a poll worker for a few elections, and I know that if you're having this issue where there's some sort of district change or anything, which actually happened in the gubernatorial election that we had in June, it's very important that you vote provisionally. You exercise that option. Your vote will be counted as long as you have not voted in your own home district where you're supposed to be voting. And then the San Diego Registrar of Voters or any registrar will count your vote as a regular vote just after they verify that you haven't voted at another location. You are able to vote at any location within your county, as long as just so that you're able to vote on the specific measures that do apply to your county. But the things that you do vote on that are on those specific ballots that do not apply to where you live will not be counted. So it's important that you vote provisionally so that your vote does get counted. But then I would also, yes, I would voice that concern or pose any questions to the poll workers. They can give you any information to the registrar of voters specifically, and you can also voice your concern to the commissioner.
I'm with you on that one. Thank you. We have someone else who wants to join the conversation as well. Hey, caller, you're live on Revive. I believe your name is Sarah?
Yes. Hey, it's Sarah. I'm in New York in Long Island.
Hey, Sarah, how are you? How can you actually join in and expand this conversation? How was your experience yesterday at the polls?
My experience was fine, but part of what I do is try to amplify resources for people to be able to vote successfully and also generally to get involved in their communities and in national politics as well. So part of what I was doing during the day was when I was hearing about voter irregularities or voting irregularities, voter suppression tactics, there are a lot of people on Instagram and other social media who were sharing video of things like the lines, people lined up for 2 or 3 hours in precincts in Georgia, for example, where they had just forgotten to bring the power cords for the voting machines. And it's electronic voting.
Facts.
And they didn't have paper backups. And, it makes you realize how valuable our votes are, because if they were not so valuable, people with bad intent would not be trying so hard to take them away. And one thing that I mentioned to my followers yesterday was the National Election Protection Hotline, which is, just in case anybody wants to note it for next time, 866-OUR-VOTE, or you can text OUR VOTE to 97779. And they have attorneys standing by during elections who are ready to help you, whether that is to help you work through a problem while you're at your precinct or to work through it after the fact. The other thing that is important to memorize or put it in your phone in case this ever comes up when you're actually there and ready to vote and you're turned away. The official language that you're supposed to say if you're turned away is, give me a provisional ballot with a receipt as required by law. And that is federal law, that you are allowed to take your provisional ballot, fill it out, hand it in, but you do have to do the legwork of following up to make sure that it's been counted. And part of that's it's on us. If we want our votes to be counted, unfortunately, until we reform voting laws federally and do a better job of implementing them at the local level, and until the Voting Rights Act is restored, it really is on us to make sure that our votes get counted. And yes, that's a lot of responsibility, but look what happens when we don't.
Definitely. And did you see any of that in New York yesterday where you actually were located?
Not at my polling station, but I definitely saw reports and photos and people posting all over social media, lines throughout, New York City and other areas of the state, primarily in the city, just where the density is such that, a polling station can get overwhelmed. But I mean, this is ridiculous. It's 2018 and we haven't solved this. And really the reason that it hasn't been solved is that, there's been complacency. Like we've all, and I don't fault your generation, like the millennials are just coming up. They're just at the place where they should be starting to get involved. It's on I'm a little older, I'm 42. It's on my generation. Like people were too complacent for too long and thought that there wasn't any, either people thought everything was fine, when of course it was not, or they thought, well, there's nothing that I can do about this. And neither of those is true. And it's on us working with your generation to fix it. And, we should be prepared. Like we should know that, the power cords need to come. Like there should be accountability. People should lose their jobs over things like that. And that's just not happening. In New York, it's the same kind of thing. I think there it tends to be more complacency in New York City because it's honestly a city full of Democrats, and, the people who are running the show are Democrats, and people are not that worried about being able to elect people that will represent them. But when you start to see the change that has to happen at the local level to be able to affect the national level, that's when you realize, yeah, actually, we have to make our voices heard, even if we think that be okay, other people are not.
I'm with you, Sarah. And I want to ask you a quick question because you brought up millennials, right? So now, like you said, it is now millennials' time to step up, to now use our voice, to now, exercise our rights to vote and different things like that. But one thing that I've noticed, especially here in the state of Pennsylvania, the candidates are now changing. The candidates are now becoming millennials. You're seeing more and more candidates starting their political run at a younger age instead of waiting to their 40s or their 50s to start. What do you think about that? By you being in the generation before us, what do you think about more millennials stepping up to become candidates and not just becoming voters?
I welcome it. There is nothing that could make me happier than getting the baby boomers out of office. I think that they honestly have messed up so much stuff. And of course, this is not on every single person and every single legislator, but on the whole, it is a very white, it is a very male, and it is a very old set of legislators. And they are not representing who America is. I mean, America, obviously there are large pockets of very conservative, very, self-focused people out there, but they are the minority. The majority of America actually believes in diversity and inclusivity and elevating a variety of voices. And to me, that is what millennials represent. And so if they get into office, they are going to be bringing those values to Washington and to the local level. I mean, a lot of the people that were elected were millennials who represent, especially urban areas where they're operating at the state level. It's not all about national politics. So of course, I hope those people will go on to national roles, So it's like you and your generation can make a difference, even starting at the school board level. Like my youngest sibling is 10 years younger than me, and he ran for local trustee, I think they called it in Chicago, of his local school. And, he was able to work on local education reform and kind of, be a fresh voice among people that had just been doing this for decades and were just doing the same things over and over and having the same failing schools as a result.
I'm with it. I'm with you. I'm definitely with you on that. Thank you for all the compliments you just gave to us as millennials. On behalf of all the millennials, I'm going to say thank you. But Joey, I want to get you back into the conversation. I want to ask you the exact same question. What do you think about millennials starting to become candidates and not just voters?
I think it's very exciting to get some fresh new faces, some fresh new voices into the national and state level. But I do personally belong to Gen Z, and it's also exciting to see a lot of the Gen Z participation that's occurring. And I'm really excited to see some of the people in my generation in the next decade or so also come into the national and the state arena as far as politics are concerned. And I think that there's a lot of changes going to be going on, and I'm excited to hear and witness and be a part of the discourse that's going to be evolving over the next decade or so.
I love it. And I love that you're a part of the Generation Z, because I actually have a question, right? So when it comes to your generation getting involved in politics, I feel like you guys are going to do it in a very innovative way. You know what I mean? I think your generation is really just going to change the whole scope of how politics, you're not going to just pick between the lesser of two evils. You're not just going to settle for a two-party system. You know what I mean? You guys are going to really just innovate politics. Where do you see politics, going within the next, 4 years, especially after 2020? What is your envision, Joey?
I'm very excited to see the role that social media and technology is going to play in politics. I know that right now, just with the work that I'm doing with Balance the Ballot, it's really brought a cohesiveness and a coherency to the political realm of simply speaking on politics. I know that just from my involvement, I've been able to hear so many new perspectives, and I think that politics and the way the politics plays out is going to be completely different due to the fact that we have this availability to other people's perspectives and ideas. And it's really interesting to see how technology and social media is really helping that flourish, in that we're able to hear what other people think and witness other people's perspectives and how they live, and how it's going to change our perspectives on politics. And I do believe that it's going to shake the old status quo up a little bit, in that a lot of people are going to be forming their political ideas in a more informed and whole way.
And do you think that the millennials and the Generation Z will be able to work together? Because the baby boomers and our parents and the millennials, the generation gap is really wide at this point of understanding and communicating with one another. So do you think the millennials and the Generation Z can actually come together and be cohesive?
No, I do personally think so, because I do personally identify with the right, but here I am having a normal and respectable conversation. And I know that I do work with a lot of people that are on the left, and I do work with some people on the right. And I just know that with the discourse that we have is so fresh, and it's very respectful. And I just think that technology and social media does have a lot to do with that. And I do think that we're going to be able to get a lot done just as far as the discourse is concerned within my realm of politics.
I love it. And then another question that I have that's designated to you, what about that two-party system, right? Because I'm gonna be honest with you guys today. I was a part of the problem in 2016 when it came down to the election for 45, because I wasn't one of the voters who were gonna just vote for the lesser of two evils. I couldn't just vote for Hillary Clinton because she was a Democrat, and I definitely couldn't vote for a Donald Trump. So I went with the Green Party. I actually voted for Joe Stein in 2016, and I became part of the problem. But that's because I believe in challenging the system. I believe in challenging that two-party system. I think that, exercising our right to vote is more than just being a Republican or being a Democrat. So with that being said, Joy, what do you think about, that two-party system, implementing other parties into the system?
I do know that it is something that Europe and a lot of European countries do very well, especially Germany, which is an area of interest for me. I do hope to become a diplomat and work within German and American politics in the future. I know that a lot of people don't feel like either party represents them or who they are, and a lot of them feel pressured to vote for either one, which don't really encompass their beliefs and their morals. Yes. And I'm very excited to see how the future is going to play out in that sense, because I do believe that there may be some future political parties that are going to start popping up as a result of new and incoming voters, possibly the Green Party, maybe the Libertarian Party, some things along those lines. But it would be really nice to shake up the way that our government is functioning by introducing some new voters and getting some new people into office in the future.
Definitely, man. We got to shake them up, Joey, because I'm not with this two-party system, especially if it's, something like we had in 2016. And Brax, I want to get you back into the conversation as well. What do you think about, candidates are, starting to become more millennial, where we're getting out here, we're starting to put our names and faces on these ballots. What do you think about that?
So there's a lot of stuff that was said too I want to comment on.
Please do.
But, I'm excited to see this younger generation running. As you know, yesterday, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez became the youngest woman elected she's a Latina woman elected to Congress.
Awesome.
In terms of state elections, Wisconsin State Assembly, Kaylon Haywood, he's 19 years old, part of the Democratic Party. He was elected to office yesterday as well.
Awesome.
So there's now somebody who's younger than Jewel Jones that was elected. So a lot of great things happening. So there's a lot of history that was made yesterday too, in terms of women, age, orientation too as well. So I'm glad to see those. In terms of talking about the two-party system, because I said this before a couple weeks ago. When it comes down to voting, especially with this election and being a registered Democrat, my problem with my own party was that the only message was just anti-Trump. I'm not going to go run down the ballot and vote all Democrat just because that's what your message is. What are you going to do? Because, to me, it's my issues before party at the end of the day.
I love that.
Just because you're a Democratic candidate does not necessarily mean that you're going to represent me in my best interest.
That's a fact.
We might align a lot more, and that's the struggle I've been feeling the more I grow is I kind of feel I know I align with a lot of Democratic things, a couple of Republican things here or there. And it's especially becoming independent, but then you're always picking a lesser two evils or
exactly
between two. And it's I wish we had an option. But then again, at the same time, when it comes on big elections and then those votes that go to right now, that third party that could have been used elsewhere, that's where it's kind of that's where you start to become conflicted. And so that's definitely a larger topic. But also too, Joey, I'm glad to see you having conversations with people who may not align with what you consider yourself. And I feel just glad to be having a conversation with you because I know for me too, I have a decent amount of friends that are Republicans, and we can sit down, we come to the table, we can talk about things, and because at the end of the day, we respect each other's opinions, and we're not out here realizing that we have to be able to have regular bipartisan conversations, even though our Congress can't seem to do the bipartisan work we elect them to do, unfortunately.
Good comment. That's big. I agree with you on that. And definitely when it comes to that two-party system, I agree with both of you. It is time to shake it up. And also, Bragg, I agree with you. It's picking between the lesser two evils. I think that's one problem why our generation has a problem with voting in general. It's because it's I don't necessarily agree with this person, but I'm not a Republican. And a lot of people don't understand, but we can't tell them what to do. But a lot of people don't understand it should be issues over it should be issues over, whether you're a Democrat or whether you're a Republican. And I think that a lot of people, because they only vote with what they know. So if someone says, okay, I'm a Democrat, you just vote all Democrat, you just vote all blue, but not necessarily knowing that voting all blue does not always help you as well. And Sarah, I want to ask you about that too, because I didn't ask that question to you. What do you think about the two-party system? Do you agree with having the Democrat and the Republican Party as the primary parties, or do you think that it's time for us to implement new parties into the system?
I think it's absolutely time for a change. It's something I've been talking about for years, and I'm so glad to hear you talk about it, because if younger people want it to happen, it has a much bigger chance of actually happening. I think that we do need to, as one of the other guests mentioned, we need to look at how it's done in other countries where coalition building happens. The idea that we all have to declare allegiance to parties that ask us to sort of, make things very black and white, that's just not how life is. And I think that the way to be able to infuse politics with the complexity that that is actually life, is by having choice. And I think that the way that it's going to happen is some of the smaller parties, I don't know that it's necessarily the Green Party because of debacles like the Jill Stein thing. And thank you, honestly, for being so open and honest about that. I think some people are really embarrassed and don't talk about it, but I think it's perfectly legitimate that, it happened and you look at it and you say, okay, next time, what would I do in this situation? But anyway, I think that coming to a place where we have other coalitions that have other political parties that have to find common ground and form coalitions with larger parties makes a ton of sense for me. The thing I get tripped up on is until we get to that place, we have to vote for the lesser of two evils, because otherwise we end up with Donald Trump. The second thing is, for people that say, I don't want to be forced into that, I don't want to be forced into the lesser of two evils, what are you doing to make that not the choice? What are you doing to actually build other parties, build alternatives, change the system? Because if you're just talking about it, that's not enough.
Facts. That is a fact. Definitely. If you're just talking about it, it's not enough, because your vote is your voice, man. And I appreciate all of you guys coming through and definitely helping to expand this conversation on yesterday's election day, November 6th. And I want to just make one more comment and see what you guys have to say on this, because yesterday, like Brack said earlier, a lot of history was made. So yesterday, Colorado actually voted in their first openly gay governor into the state of Colorado. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that, because the LGBT community is now making a big stance and making a big statement when it comes to politics. And I wanted to know what you guys think about that. As we're changing, as time is changing and politics is changing, the people and the faces that are on the forefront of politics are changing as well. So I really want to know what you guys think about that, and so anyone can start.
I'm happy to start. I think it's awesome. I mean, the more, like, as I said before, like the more that our politicians represent, the diversity of our country, the better. Like everybody needs to be represented. Everybody needs to have a voice. It's not just Colorado's first openly gay governor. It's the first in this country. And it's an incredible thing. And I actually have friends in Denver who knew both of the candidates, and we're in like a very awkward position because they're friends with both of them. But, and I'm not going to say who they are, so I can say this. They felt that, Polis was by far the better candidate and would do a much better job in terms of representing where that state is headed. And contributing to the national conversation. And so, I think I'm really proud to know people in that state and to know that they made such a bold move.
I feel bad for your friends, though.
Yeah, right? Isn't that just like so awkward?
So, does anyone else have a comment or they want to join in on this topic?
I will say that I'm very excited and happy to see that, and for me being in the LGBT community myself, it's just good to see people being able to be comfortable with themselves and that we're actually embracing people to run for basically people being able to feel comfortable enough to run for office and be open about themselves, not having to hide it. And it's and it means we're electing more diverse officials and they're actually representing the population of the United States instead of having a bunch of straight white males. Now you're having women, you're having gay men, gay women, transgender women in office, and I'm not sure about transgender men yet. No, but transgender women. So it's just great to see different diverse candidates being elected, and because now they're going to be able to make changes and steer the country toward a more positive and progressive direction.
Definitely. And one thing I would say about, having a diverse, a politician or having, a diversity when it comes to politics in general, it changes, the thought process when it comes to implementing new policies, when it comes to implementing new laws and different things like that, because you're not just thinking one track minded, you're actually thinking about everyone when you make these decisions. And that means inclusion of everyone when you make these decisions. So I definitely agree with you on that part, Brax. But we do have to wrap it up. I appreciate you guys once again for coming through and blessing and reviving the airways. Joey, did you have one last thing that you wanted to say tonight?
I would just like to say, yeah, I enjoyed hearing all you guys' perspectives. And on the last comment that you did make, I'm excited to see a lot of other people with different identities that are coming to politics. And I'm excited to come to a point in time where, regardless of race, gender, personal identity, people do feel like they're able to participate in any way, shape, and form in the political process.
No doubt. And Joy, I want to make sure that you give yourself a shout out because I want to be able to collab and work with you guys again. We do something with Brax, his organization called TLS Politics, and they do pretty much the same thing that you guys are doing. And I want to be able to make sure that we can collab again because I really would love to extend this conversation even more. So if you can go ahead and shout your organization out so people know exactly where they can find you guys and look up some more information because you guys put out a plethora of information every day.
Yeah, we're called Balance the Ballot. You can find us on Instagram at Balance the Ballot. We're a political media outlet run by 4 students, 3 of which are in London, one of which is here in California, and that's me. We have about 50 writers and media people who live all across the world, Canada, U.S., Britain, Germany, Dubai, Africa, everywhere in the world. That we try to provide non-biased aimed towards the younger generation within about 100 words or less, and we post about 3 things per day between history, U.S. and international politics.
And Joey, how is it getting involved into national politics and international politics all at the same time? Because we know politics can be super overwhelming, but you're involved in international and national politics. So how is that for you?
I think it's very exciting, and I think that it's helping me build up the direction in which I'd like to go in my future. It's really exciting, and I really enjoy being able to talk to and interact with people from all over the world and from all these different perspectives and backgrounds. It does get a little overwhelming at times, but there are a lot of people that are here supporting the project, so it is really worth it, and it's very rewarding to do all that work.
Are you a political science major?
I'm actually in my senior year of high school, but I am
Awesome.
planning on going into German literature or German studies along with international relations.
Awesome. And how did you, being in high school, how did your high school help, you with, getting into politics and getting into government? Because when I was in high school, we only had social studies, and that wasn't, they didn't really hone in on politics and what's going on. So how did you actually get involved in it?
I do partake in an international diploma program
Awesome.
that aims to get students. It's called the International Baccalaureate, and it does aim to get students involved in an international conversation as far as politics and other things are concerned. It's available to students all over the world, and
Awesome.
we're asked to take a language as well. And that's learning German is actually something that really helped me get involved into international and the national politics.
And how was it learning the German language? Have you been to Germany so far?
Yeah, I've been to Germany once before, and I'm going again this summer.
Awesome.
I've been taking it since I was about 11 years old, and now I'm very fluent.
Also, are you like interning or anything right now under any candidates?
No, I am not, but I do regret not having attempted to do that.
But you're well on your way. I just want to let you know that you're definitely well on your way. You're definitely very informative. And to know that you're only a senior in high school is really big. And I wanted to just ask you this one last question, right? So you told me how you're in, the actual outside activity from your school. But does your school actually have a curriculum that teaches politics inside of the school?
No, we do not. We do have a very, very comprehensive history of the Americas course. But aside from that, no, all of the politics is self-learned. But I do have a very engaged group of friends who
Awesome.
help me have this sort of discourse often.
And Joy, that's the one thing that we need to change, right? So we can actually learn like Ellison government inside of, high school when it comes to college and when it comes to getting into, the real world, air quotes, right? When it comes to getting into the real world and being educated on voting, we will know what our rights are if they teach us these things in high school. What do you think that we can do, by you still being in high school right now? What do you think that we can do to help implement, a curriculum when it comes to teaching government in high schools?
I do apologize. I did misspeak. We do have a government course at my school, but it's not aligned with the specific program that I take.
Okay.
So I'm not able to take it.
Okay.
But voting for people who are attempting to reform education in that direction is obviously a very, very good option to inform the younger and upcoming voters on their rights.
I'm with it, man. Joy, I appreciate you once again. Can you definitely shout your organization out one more time so the people know exactly how to follow you guys and stay locked with you?
Yep, you can find us on Instagram at Balance the Ballot. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joey. I appreciate you. Have a great night. Yo, Brax, make sure you guys shout out TLS Politics as well.
Yeah, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at TLS Politics and www.tlspolitics.com.
No doubt. Yo, Brax, picture if we would have started back in 12th grade.
I did.
You're right. Let me speak for myself. You're right. That's why you are where you are right now. I appreciate you, Brax, for coming through and definitely giving the actual factuals tonight and expanding this conversation, man. If you don't know already, you can catch TLS Politics every second and fourth Sunday live here on Revive, man. They're always bringing the actual factuals. They got questions of the day. They have videos and everything they do on their site as well. So, Brax, once again, let them know how they can stay locked with TLS.
Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at TLS Politics.
No doubt, man. Brax, I appreciate you for coming through. And Sarah, last but not least, man, you were incredible. I love the conversation. I love what you added to the conversation tonight, man. You definitely opened my mind and my perspective to a lot of different point of views. So I appreciate you. I want you to make sure you shout yourself out as well so that people can stay locked because you do a lot out there for the people. You work on behalf of the people, and that's why I appreciate the work that you do.
Thank you so much. I love your show. I'm definitely going to be listening in the future and recommending it. So in the spring, I started something called Vote Like a Mother, and the double meaning is definitely intended. Vote. And it was based on the sign that I made for the March for Our Lives. And I was really inspired by the Parkland students and how they understood gun violence as an intersectional issue that was not just about school shootings, but also about communities around the country that have been dealing with gun violence, for decades on a daily basis. And I made a sign and it said, vote like a mother, because I thought, what does this issue boil down to? It really boils down to people that are beholden to the NRA and are taking NRA money and won't vote for just sensible gun reform. I'm not saying take away guns. I'm just saying we got to have some sensible laws to prevent mass shootings and to reduce gun violence in neighborhoods. And people really responded to my sign, like across generations, across just a very diverse group of people at the New York City March. And I thought, well, you know what? I think this is a message that's meaningful to people because it's not partisan. It's kind of like what you were talking about where, you get slotted into this either or choice, and that's not enough. It doesn't necessarily, represent your viewpoint. And what I realized is that Vote Like a Mother is about things like empathy, like kindness, generosity, about care for others, and really boils down to building the world that we want for our children, to build that world for all children. And I just said, you know what, I'm starting this. I'm going to build a movement around this. And so it's grown, and I have thousands of people with me. And one of the things I do is I sell gear. And I know that, I've had some millennials and Gen Zers who are like, oh, that's funny. I get it. Like, I like it. Vote like a mother. And they'll wear the gear. But a lot of them are buying it for their moms. So I was thinking, if anybody in your audience needs a great holiday gift for mom, go to votelikeamother.org, and 100% of the profits from the gear goes to mom-centered nonprofits. So those are groups like
Awesome.
Moms Rising, Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America, and all the profits go to these groups. And I've got my logo, and they're like ethically and sustainably made t-shirts, tote bags, like organic cotton, bamboo, etc. And, I'm just trying to get that message out as far as I can.
Definitely, Sarah, and I appreciate that. Definitely vote like a mother. Did you see a lot of moms out there yesterday bringing their the kids to the polls?
Oh my gosh, so many. And it was so cool. So I started the hashtag Vote Like a Mother back when I launched in April. And in the last 2 days, the amount you can look on Instagram how many times the hashtag has been used. From April, in April it had been used like a dozen times. And as of I checked last night, at some point it had been used 2,000 times.
Yes, it takes one right move to make the right movement, Sarah.
Right?
And that's exactly what you're doing,
Yeah.
man. I appreciate you. And I wanted to ask this last question because something that I noticed is that you're working for the people. You know what I mean? This is just a passion that you have. You know what I mean? This is not, a job that you're getting paid thousands of dollars to do. So
no.
so why the people? Like why do you choose the people? Why do you choose to get out in your community to bring that unity back?
That is an awesome question. So I was raised in a really big family, and raised by people who were committed to social justice. It was just part of like the air that I breathed from birth. No one ever said, "Oh, that's just the way it is." There are lots of people in this world who say that, but my family didn't. They said, "You don't like it? What are you going to do about it?" And so when I was, I grew up going to marches and participating in fundraisers, or, we would do a dance-a-thon for this or whatever, stuff through school. But it didn't click until I was 14 when I joined my after school, what they called at the time, the Ecology Club. And I learned about climate change. At the time, I called it global warming. This is like, in the 90s. And I was like, well, why are we letting this happen? Why aren't we doing anything about it? And I started organizing around that issue, and we got a school recycling program going, and we got the school to participate in Earth Day, and we, just mobilized people. And that was my first sense that there is citizen action that can happen, that can make a difference. So I ended up having a career in children's media and digital technology, and I stayed an activist just, on a personal level. But really 2 years ago, when I saw what happened as a result of people like me who should know better, like not doing enough, I thought, what can I do? And I, it took me a long time to really find the thing. But when that idea of Vote Like a Mother occurred to me, I was like, okay, like the lightning struck me this time, and I have to honor that, and I have to go with it. And it's been incredible. Like, I feel like everything that I've done and everything I've learned in my career has actually led me to this and to being of service, because I can, it's like, if you can, you should.
I'm definitely with you on that one, man. Definitely use your civic duty. You know what I mean? Everybody's fighting for this civil rights. You need to be fighting for your civic duty all at the same time, man. Sarah, I appreciate you for coming through. I definitely want to stay connected with you, especially, throughout this election season, especially coming up in 2020. We got to keep this conversation alive. We cannot let it die so people won't say they did not know. You know what I'm saying? We got to continue to educate them. So I definitely want to stay connected. So let's definitely make sure we exchange contact information and things like that. I actually just followed you on Instagram. I'm going to make sure I shout you guys out today too while we're on air, so people can definitely know how to stay locked with you. But I want you to shout yourself out while you're live right now so people know how they can find you.
Thank you. So on Instagram and on Twitter, at Vote Like a Mother. And then on Facebook, it's at Go Vote Like a Mother. And then votelikeamother.org is the website.
Definitely, man. And definitely go cop them shirts. Sarah, how can they definitely cop a shirt?
So go to votelikeamother.org, and I've got all sorts of different, I've got very like size inclusive, all the way from extra small up to 3X, and I try to be style inclusive as well. And that's not a term, I just made it up, but there are people, stuff like a little more conservatively cut, stuff that's a little more fashion forward. I do the buttons for people that are not down with, fully being a billboard, and short sleeve and long sleeve. And I've got sweatshirts and even car magnets, people like I've got some super fans who bought like one of everything. So.
I love it. Yes, man. The support is real, especially because the proceeds are going back to such a positive, positive place. And that's what it's all about, knowing where your donations or knowing where your money is going, and to know that you're putting it back into organizations that are, around surrounding moms who are doing positive things is what it's all about. So I appreciate the work that you're doing, Sarah. I'm definitely going to be, hitting you up a lot more often. So you're stuck with me here at Revive Radio. I thank you once again for the work. I really enjoy people who are about, the unity and putting it back into their community. So I want to make sure, that we are able to connect a lot more often so we can expand this, so to allow people to know that, even though you're in New York and I'm here in Philly, we can still make this happen.
Totally. I love it. I love what you're doing. Delighted to be a part of it. And definitely let's stay connected.
Definitely, man. Sarah, I hope you have a great rest of your week.
Okay. Thank you. You too.
No doubt. We about to go to a quick commercial break, man. Right after this quick commercial break, I got us some more trending topics and current events I want to go over with you guys, man. You too can join in on this conversation. Make sure you guys give us a call, 215-490-9832. Once again, that number is 215-490-9832. Shout out to your guy, Brax from TLS Politics, man. Make sure you guys stay locked with them. And definitely, man, use the hashtag Vote Like a Mother. You already know what time it is. It's Meet Your Girl P.O.C. Turn your radios up. Revive is alive. Once again, Revive is alive. I want you guys out there to follow us, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Revive_POC. And don't forget to subscribe to that Revive newsletter where you can find at reviveisalive.com. Once again, that is reviveisalive.com. Spread the word, spread the message. It's Meet Your Girl P.O.C., host of Revive Radio.
Do you understand the true meaning of how money works and how someone may make money and manage their money? If you do, you know what financial literacy is. Financial literacy deals with managing money, how he or she can invest it, and how it is used to handle your everyday life expenses. So the next time you are applying for that credit card at your favorite store, or you are taking out student loans that you really don't need, make yourself aware of the risk you could be taking if you are not knowledgeable. It could haunt you for the rest of your life. For more information, visit financialeducatorscouncil.org.
Growing up, you learn that if you get good grades in high school and get a college degree, you will have your shot at the American dream. Unfortunately, that is no longer true. There are currently 20 million Americans attending college every year. 20 million students, 20 million different stories, one struggle, and one call to action. The current student loan debt crisis has now reached $1 trillion and continues to grow $3,000 a second. 20 million students, all with the same problem, and yet so few are willing to stand against it. Will you?
This world is such a, and when I say this world, I mean it. I don't mean in an ideal sense. I mean in every day, every little thing you do. It's such a, gimme, gimme, gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody's like, you taught that from school, everywhere. Big business. If you want to be successful, you want to be like Trump, gimme, 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 push, 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 step, 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 crush, crush, crush. That's how it all is. And it's like, nobody ever stopped. Just, you know, I feel like, instead of us just being like, slavery's bad, slavery's down, bad whitey, bad whitey. I mean, all right, let's stop that. And everybody's smart enough to know that, I mean, we've been slighted, and we want ours. And I don't mean by, like, ours, 40 acres and a mule, because we're past that. but we need help. I mean, for us to be on our own 2 feet, us meaning youth or us meaning black people, whatever you want to take it for us to be on our own 2 feet, we do need help because we have been here. We have been a good friend. If you want to make it a relationship type thing, we have been there, and now we deserve our payback. It's like you got a friend that you don't never look out for. You know, you dressed up in jewels. Now America's got jewels, and they paid and everything, and they lending money to everybody except us. And it's like, you know, everybody need a little help on their way to being, you know, self-reliant. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing about the album, about the Special Olympics. Everybody need a little something and they to be independent. No independent person just grew up and was born independent. You worked and you learned teamwork and you learned cooperation and unity and struggle, and then you became independent. And we have to teach that and instill that. And why is it that they want to do that? I mean, if this is truly a melting pot in the country where we care about it and Lady Liberty got a hand like this, she really loves us, then we really need to be like that. And it needs to be the black kids. If there's a white person who got money, then he need to help them. He need to help black kids, Mexican kids, Korean kids, whatever. But it need to be real. And it need to be before we all die and then you say, oh, I made a mistake. We should have gave them some money. We really should have helped these folks. It's going to be too late. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when you got to pay your own karma. And that's when God make you punish. When God punishes you. Because I feel like, you know, it's too much money here. I mean, nobody should be hitting lotto for $36 million and we got people starving in the streets. That is not idealistic. That's just real. That is just stupid. There's no way Michael Jackson should have, or whoever Jackson, should have $1,000,000 billion and then there's people starving. There's no way. There's no way that these people should own planes and their people don't have houses, apartments, shacks, drawers, pants.
We say to people that say, well, they earned it. Now you go out and you're earning it.
If they earned it, then I think that that's good, and I think that they deserve it. But even if you earned it, you still owe. Because look at me, I don't have that mega money, but I feel guilty walking by somebody. I got to give them some mail. And if I know I got $3,000 in my pocket, I feel like it's wrong to give that person a quarter or $1. It's wrong. Only you know what you got in your pocket. And that's wrong. No matter what they do, if they take it and drink it, they take it and drink it. But, I mean, you got. You understand? And we all know how hard it is, and it's not about if you good or you bad. So since it's not about if you good or you bad, we know that because he don't got don't mean he was bad. Or don't mean he's a criminal, or don't mean he's crazy, or a drug addict, or none of that. It just means he don't got. And ain't it bad that you got 30? I mean, can you imagine somebody having $32 million? $32 million. And this person has nothing, and you can sleep. You can still go to the movies I mean, and then these are the type of people that get humanitarian awards. Millionaires. How can they be humanitarians? By the fact that they millionaires and there's so many poor people shows how unhumane they are. You know what I'm saying? And that bugs me. Not saying that when I'm never going to be rich, and you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying it's a struggle, and I think everybody deserves. And I think there's a way to pay these people. I think there is a way. It just takes to be revolutionary. And it takes to do something out of the ordinary. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that if we just said, okay, I got an idea. No more porno buildings. You know what I'm saying? Let's build houses. Or no more polo games. Let's build houses for poor people. You know what I'm saying? Or, look, okay, I know you're rich. I know you got $40 billion. But can you just keep it to one house? You only need one house. And if you only got 2 kids, can you just keep it to 2 rooms? I mean, why have 52 rooms and you know there's somebody with no room? It just don't make sense to me. It don't. And then these people celebrate Christmas. They got big trees, huge trees, all the little trimmings. Everybody got gifts, and then somebody's starving. And they're having a white Christmas. They're having a great Christmas, eggnog and the whole nine. That's not fair to me.
You are listening to Time for an Awakening Media, part of the Black Talk Radio Network. For podcasts or live programming, hit them up at timeforanawakening.com.
Yep, you know what time it is, man. It's me, your girl P.O.C, host of Revive Radio. I need you all out there to do one thing for me right now. Spread the word, spread the message that Revive is alive. Once again, Revive is alive. And I need you guys to go check out our website at reviveisalive.com. Once again, reviveisalive.com, and follow us Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Revive_POC. Are you an entrepreneur? Are you a startup business? Are you a local business? Are you an artist? Are you looking for someone to distribute your content? Revive Radio is the place to be. Come advertise with us at Revive Radio right now. You can find that advertising page at reviveisalive.com. Once again, reviveisalive.com. Advertise with Revive. We are reaching thousands of millennials all across the world. And once again, reviveisalive.com is where you can find that information. Welcome to Revive. It's about that time. Welcome to Revive. It's about that time. All I need is one mic. You know what time it is. Open up your ears. You know what time it is. Open up your mind. It's about that time. It's your girl P.O.C. Hey! It's your girl P.O.C. Hey! Proof of consciousness. Proof of consciousness. P.O.C. You know what time it is. Open up your ears. You know what time it is. Open up your mind. All I need is it's about that time. Welcome to Revive. Welcome to Revive. Welcome to Revive. Yep. You know what time it is, man. It's Meet Your Girl P.O.C. host for Revive Radio, man. We are back live on reviveisalive.com. Once again, that is reviveisalive.com. You can also check us out on TuneIn. You can download the app or go directly to the website and just search Time for an Awakening to hear Meet Your Girl P.O.C. Reviving Airways each and every winning Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., man. We actually start each and every winning Wednesday. We go back to back, starting at 7 a.m. with that good morning radio, man. Each and every morning, Monday through Friday, turn your radios up. Starting at 7 a.m., you can catch us live, man, on reviveisalive.com. Tell a friend to spread the word, spread the message. We are live, man. We reviving airways each and every morning. Tomorrow is Thursday, so you already know we throwing it back each and every Thursday with that good morning mix. So, man, definitely make sure you guys hit us up. Like I said before, if you want, your song, your track, your single played live on Revive in our morning mix or even our mix here on Winning Wednesday, make sure you guys hit me up at revive.poc@gmail.com. We would definitely love to play your song live on air. And you already know, man, each and every Friday, we got Free Balls Friday live on Revive Radio, man. So if you're an artist, a singer, a poet, even a comedian, man, we want to hear from you. Yes, you. So definitely make sure you guys hit us up and definitely reach out to submit your application now to be a part of Free Balls Friday. You can do that at reviveisalive.com or you can hit us up at revive.poc@gmail.com and we will send that information right over to you, man. We are letting you debut your track, your single, also drop some bars live on the show so that people know that you got bras. It's not just about the style, it's about the bars, man. That's what it's all about. The music, the content. We are content creators. And with that being said, man, definitely make sure you support what you value. Support what you value. If you value this safe space, if you value Revive Radio, man, if you want to keep Revive alive, click that donate button at the bottom of the homepage at reviveisalive.com. Man, donate to help keep Revive alive for the next 365 days. As we're pushing this 365-day campaign, we're only asking for $1 to keep Revive alive, man. So definitely, I want to say thank you to everybody who has donated thus far to help keep Revive alive, man. And we are talking to you. Yes, you. Go ahead, Phil Froggy, and click that donate button. Jump over there to reviveisalive.com and click that donate button. And while you're at it, make sure you guys subscribe to both the newsletter and the YouTube so you can stay locked. You already know we got some visuals. We got some amazing events coming up. We have a lot that we can recap with you guys, man. You know, we're always on the go, AM to the PM, 365, 24/7. And we're definitely making sure we recap everything for you guys so you can stay locked with the visuals. So check it out at our YouTube page, as well as some old shows and some exclusive interviews we have up there as well on our YouTube page. So make sure you guys check it out. And don't forget to subscribe. And subscribe your friends too, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Set them up too as well while you're there. But I want to talk a little bit about, I got some trending topics I want to get in real fast. So we do got to get off air around 10. So as we all know, about the music teacher who got into an altercation with the 16-year-old student who was being extremely disrespectful while in class, using the N-word and cursing and different things like that at the teacher. But guess what? So the teacher ended up getting fired. He did lose his job, rightfully so. He should have lost his job because he did swing first on the student. If the student would have swung first, then yes, he has the right to defend himself. But because he allowed the student to get under his skin and he did swing first, he did lose his job. But guess what? People raised over $80,000 for a California teacher who was involved in fight with students. Mind you, teachers don't even make $80,000 a year. So to know that people were able to raise $80,000 for this teacher is a super eyebrow raise for me, because it's like, so where's all this money when the teachers actually need funding for books and school supplies and, you know what I mean, pencils and pens for the student to actually write with? Why we can't just raise $80,000 for the school and not just the teacher? But that's just my outtake on everything. But I just wanted to let you guys know, and I want to get a little bit into the story, because really when it comes to, you know, these schools altercations, you know, with having police in the schools and, you know, the schools now looking like prisons and different things like that. And we are able to raise $80,000 for one teacher who was involved in a fight with a student. It's just really crazy. And I want to know your opinions about it, man. Definitely drop us a comment at revive_POC, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm definitely going to put that story out there on our Twitter and Facebook so you guys can check it out, because I thought this was crazy. I'm like, so what about the school supplies? So is any of this money going to go back to the school supplies? I just wanted to bring that up. I want to know your thoughts about it. And then also shout out to VH1 and everyone's favorite guy, my favorite guy, Charlemagne the God. VH1 is to premiere a television show, which will be the first ever live session on mental health with Charlemagne the God and Dr. Jessica Clemens, which is going to be amazing. Dr. Jessica Clemens is a black psychologist, which is really dope. And then you have Charlemagne the God, also a licensed MD, and a resident let me get into the story correctly. Charlemagne the God, Dr. Jessica Clemens is actually Charlemagne the God therapist, which is really dope, and we all know how he feels about mental health. If you haven't checked out his book, definitely go check out his book, The Shook Ones. He also talks about very, very heavily on his show, The Breakfast Club, how he goes to therapy every Friday. So I think this is going to be really dope, and it's definitely important that we bring up mental health awareness, especially in our communities, because we are dealing with a lot of mental health, but we don't address it. So to be able to watch a television show and listen to people who look just like me and you reflect and talk about it, you know, very openly and very freely about mental health, I think will be very transparent to a lot of people who will be able to, and, you know, tune into this show. So I think this is really dope. So definitely spread the word, spread the message on this one, especially if you know you're dealing with someone who may be close to you who's going through mental health issues right now. So definitely big up to Charlemagne the God and also Dr. Jessica Clemens for making this happen. And definitely shout out to VH1 for also allowing, you know, something like this to be broadcast live on national television. You know what I mean? Because, well, international television. VH1 is an international station. So on international television, so everyone can actually, you know, be aware and also address it in an appropriate way. And then also just to change the conversation too. Definitely change the conversation at the dinner table, because a lot of people don't, like I said before, do not want to address what mental health, you know, really is and how it is affecting us in our communities and different things like that. So I definitely want to make sure that, you know, we spread this conversation and definitely support these two on their endeavors when it comes to their show being premiered on VH1. It doesn't say exactly when the show will be coming out and when it will be airing, but it will be coming out shortly because it was announced yesterday. So big ups to that. So I definitely want to make sure we did that. And shout out to Auntie Jennifer Lewis, man. I definitely want to make sure we gave her a whole shout out, because she was a whole mood yesterday at the polls. She was out and about everywhere, man. She was singing, she was dancing, she was definitely letting the people know your voice needs to be heard. And she definitely let us hear her voice yesterday. So that's really, really big. So I just want to definitely make sure we give out a huge shout out to Auntie Jennifer Lewis. Really, really big advocate when it comes to politics. And definitely also shout out to Sean King. He posted some information yesterday, which was breaking news. Amendment 4 in Florida has just passed. 1.4 million former felons who have been banned from voting for life will
will now all be granted back their voting rights, which is a huge, huge, huge victory, especially in the state of Florida, since we did not win, with Andrew Gilliam, but we did have a breakthrough yesterday in Florida, which was Amendment 4. So once again, 1.4 million former felons who have been banned from voting for life now all will be granted back their voting rights. Well, now that will actually be something that can help change and shift the narrative when it comes to voting in Florida, because we all know how corrupt Florida can be when it comes to voting. And I'm still upset and salty when it comes to Andrew Gilliam and the fact that he did not win. But I do want to get to this last call on the line before we wrap up. Hey, caller, you're live on Revive. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hello, this is Athea from West Philly.
What's good, True? How you feeling?
Hi, I'm doing good. I just wanted to comment on a couple things that you stated. First, in regards to the teacher, the teacher and the student altercation, and the fact that everyone raised a lot of money for him.
$80,000.
I'm sorry, what you said?
$80,000. Not a lot of money. $80,000.
That's a lot of money. $80,000.
Oh my
God, is a lot of money.
And true. It's just so we can be super transparent.
But I'll definitely.
No, I was gonna
say.
Sorry,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, to be super transparent, we actually watched that video together. Like, we died laughing, watching that video together, and we both had the same comment. Like, everything was going right until he decided to hit first. You know what I'm saying? Everything would have went differently if the child would have hit first, but the fact that the teacher hit first, I'm so shocked. Like, so why are we raising $80,000 for this teacher again? But go ahead, finish what you were about to say.
No, I definitely agree, because I feel like the whole situation was just absurd and ridiculous. But the fact that he swung first was so disheartening. I'm like, dang, come on. Like, he got you that upset where you felt like you had to put his hand, like that you had to put your hands on him. But you never know if that was the first time. You never know if it's something that he repeatedly did. I'm not condoning the teacher's behavior at all. I definitely agree with you in a sense where it's like, okay, if people can raise $80,000 for this, for this teacher, then where were they at the PTA meetings, at all the fundraisers and different things of that nature? So I hope that this is a wake up call for local communities, that people will begin checking in on teachers and supporting them in their everyday work, because being a teacher, being a professor is not hard, especially in urban communities where you're dealing with children who are dealing with so much. So that's just my one comment about that. And I have another comment, though. Do you have time?
Yes. Let's go. I'm with it. You
All
live
right,
on Revive, baby. We live, baby. We always live.
My other comment is in regards to Florida and the 1.4 million. I actually talk about that in class, and that's really, really, really a beautiful thing, because felons, once things happen, that's a right. That's a human right that they should be allowed to do. So the fact that was restored for them, I think, is beautiful, and I hope that they would take action in elections. But I also, Sean King put out, I don't know if you saw, did you see the post that they did, like a Florida update? And they basically discovered that Gilliam had more votes than they had counted. So I think that by law, they're basically going to like recount the votes, if I'm not mistaken. But I'll send you the post so you can see it. But I think that Florida might be doing a recount. I don't know how that's going to work, but I definitely know that they're at least the one most recent thing that Sean posted, which was a few hours ago now. But Florida, I think, is mandated to count at like 40,000, or like basically mandated to count it again at 40,000. So I think this is what they're going to do. And another thing, even though it's not Florida, Stacey Abrams is still rooting for her all the way from Philadelphia.
No doubt. I'm still definitely rooting for Stacey. I was asking Brax earlier, like, yo, did it come in yet? Because I'm so, antsy that I don't want to keep checking it. So I'm like, just let me know when it happens. I'm still shocked that it's even taking this long. Yeah,
I've been glued to my phone, like glued to like Stacey. Like I mentioned her on my Instagram story. Like I'm like, come on, sis, because she really is representative of like every auntie, mom, grandmother, like everything that a Black woman exudes. Like she is. I'm not gonna say she's common folks, but like at the end of the day, I feel like we can relate to her. So having someone represent Georgia of that stature. It just will be really, 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 really great to see. But shout out to all the wins that we had during this election.
No doubt, man. I'm with you, True, and I appreciate you calling in and definitely making your comments tonight live here on Revive Radio. We appreciate you each and every time you call in, man. Thank you. I appreciate you.
No problem. Have a great night.
You too. That wraps up, man, this episode of Revive Radio, man. Each and every winning Wednesday, we go back to back, starting at 7 a.m., ending up at 10 p.m., man. You already know, man. Revive is alive. Revive is alive. Revive is alive, man. We'll be back live tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. We will not be live this Sunday here on Time for an Awakening, man. We will not be live once again this Sunday live here on Time for an Awakening. I will be going home to the DMV. We'll be doing my annual family give back this weekend, man. We'll be giving back to the homeless, letting them know that they are a blessing to us, so we are going to come out and bless them all at the same time, man. Definitely, we're putting that unity back in community, so make sure you guys, definitely, if you have some donations that you want to donate, make sure you guys hit me up at revive.poc@gmail.com, and don't forget, man, Revive is alive, Revive is alive, Revive is alive. Spread the word, spread the message. You already know what time it is. It's Meet Your Girl P.O.C. Turn your radios up.
I like dollars, I like diamonds, I like stunning, I like shining, I like $1 million deals. Where's my pen? Bitch, I'm signing. I like those Balenciagas, the ones that look like socks. I like going to the Tula. I put rocks all in my watch. I like texts from my exes when they want a second chance. I like proving wrong. I do what they say I can't. They call me Cardi, banging body, spicy mommy, hot tamale, hotter than a Somali. Virgo, Ferrari, hop up the stoop, jump in the coupe, dip on top of the roof, flexing them as hard as I can, eating halal, driving a lamb. So that bitch, I'm sorry though, got my coins like Mario. Yeah, they call me Cardi B, I run this shit like cardio. Diamond district in the chain.